who are sitting in shame, feeling like God can't use me, God can't put me in a place of usefulness because I'm sinful. And it's not a reflection on them, but it's how they see themselves.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person who's struggling to even think that God could love them because of what they've been through? How would you talk them through that shame and out of it?
Yeah. I would remind the person who's listening who may be dealing with shame or regrets from things that happened in the past. You know, something traumatic happened to me at 10. I would first remind them not to assume responsibility for what happened to them, and to remind them that we live in a fallen world, and that because we live in a fallen world, we are all sinners, that we commit sins and sins are committed against us. And the person who's getting the glory from that is Satan himself. He is the influence behind all of that evil. And I would say to the person right now who's sitting in shame and who's sitting in regret, that there's a place we can carry that shame, you know, to the foot of the Savior and the cross. And I would say to them, for every person listening right now who is saved, who has been brought into the kingdom by the cross and the grace of Christ, who has been covered by the blood of the Christ, the anointed one, I would tell them, anything that's under the blood has been weaponized. If it's under the blood, it is no longer that has to keep you bound in shame. If it's under the blood, it's something that can be used for the glory of God, right? And so something happened to me that was 10, but it has no power over me right now. I can talk about it freely to testify of the glory of God, that this is what God can do. He can heal, and he can move us from seasons that we were stuck, and he can move us into the future, right? And that anything that is in our past can be used now as a testimony of God's grace and God's love and his supernatural power to heal people from brokenness, to pick them up from dark places, and to use it to be a benefit to somebody else. And so if someone is listening to this right now and you are battling shame, you are dealing with regret, there is something you have buried in your past that makes you feel unworthy, I want to say to you, if it's under the blood, it has been weaponized for the glory of Christ. And the first time you feel power is when you talk about it. Because anything you talk about it, the power automatically breaks. Like that molestation, that rape, that divorce, that failure, that infidelity, that whatever the case, the first time you talk about it, it automatically breaks, because the things that have power are the things that remain in the dark. The devil traffics in the dark. And so as soon as we drag something from the dark into the light, it automatically begins to lose power. Sometimes it's just that first conversation. It begins to break. And then the more we can share that testimony, it begins to break. And the more we talk about it, we get to a place where we have a type of freedom where it doesn't have a stronghold over our mind anymore. So that's what I would say to that person who's watching, who's battling shame. It's under the blood. It's weaponized. A moment will come where you can find strength to talk about it. And then one day you'll be able to look somebody else in the eye who's gone through what you've gone through. And you'll be able to tell them, this is what I went through. This is what God has done. He has redeemed it. And what was shame for you in one season will be a powerful message in another season. This is how God will take somebody's mess and make it a message. That's what I would say to that person.
That's great words. Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah.